up? Welcome in to a jam-packed episode of the Ben Garcia Show. Let's go through this one more time in terms of Devin Booker's extension, a message sent to Jalen Green, and the Arizona Cardinals skill position players, not ranked where we thought they might be on ESPN's latest team running back, wide receiver, and tight end rankings. Let's talk about it all next.
The Ben Garcia Show. Yeah. Woo. Best show in the land. Yup. Listen. Come and get your information from Ben Garcia. Get the latest on your quarterback, running backs, and receivers. Tune in, so any other show you don't need them. Any news that he giving out, please just believe him. Giving out the latest prediction and top-notch analysis. Wanna hear the truth, better have thick skin like callus. The latest move that your team just made can be damaging. The dudes ain't speaking no facts, they just be rambling. Lights, camera, action, turn on the show, go get the cameraman. Yeah. Lights, camera, action, turn on the show, go get the cameraman. The Ben Garcia Show.
What is up, guys? Welcome in to yet another edition of the Ben Garcia Show. Thank you so much for tuning in today and being a part of the Ben Garcia Show when it is a jam-packed day, and honestly, a day that is just utterly annoying, if I'm just being completely honest with you guys. Some people are being absolutely bonkers online. It shouldn't bother me, but it is. I believe some people are intentionally being stupid to have a different opinion. So before we get into there, like, share, subscribe to the channel. It does me more good than you know, as well as follow me on all social media platforms at Ben Garcia Show. That also is a great way for you to get in on the conversation as we continue to embark on this journey on two different things this morning. Let's start with the Phoenix Suns. All right, so Devin Booker is finally extended. He signed a 2-year, $145 million extension yesterday, and all anyone can talk about, all the doofuses on the internet can talk about, is how it's a bad deal. And let's call it what it is. I don't think you actually are being serious when you say the Phoenix Suns shouldn't have traded Devin Booker. I think this is a world where people are looking for intelligent takes with the most low effort that they can give to appear smart, but not really want to put in the effort. I am going to go through the Devin Booker extension one more time. Maybe I'll break it out for social media as well. But I want to be quick about it because I've talked about this a few times, but I don't think people are really getting it. And so let's go here. Devin Booker last night signed a 2-year, $145 million extension. And I've seen a lot of talk about it. Well, Devin Booker is now overpaid. Okay, let's take all of the negativity that people are trying to add and let's talk about it, okay? Let's address it. Let's address the elephant in the room. So, Devin Booker, overpaid, $75+ million a year, nearly going to get $80+ million a year towards the end of his contract. Okay, I continue to ask this question, and no one has a clear answer. No one has given me a good thought or a good answer or why it's a bad idea to trade Devin Booker. They just want to go online, have their clicky opinion, their trendy opinion, with giving the least amount of effort or research possible, which is none. If you are in the Suns' position, not only did you want to extend Devin Booker, you had no choice. So here's the question, the second part of Devin Booker's extension. You want to get rid of Devin Booker. You don't want to extend Devin Booker. Then what? What is your plan? If you are a Suns fan and you don't want to extend Devin Booker, what is your plan? I'm totally okay with you having a different opinion than me and feeling like, you have really hit it on the head. I'm okay with you having a different opinion. I just want to know, then what? You want to move on from Devin Booker because if you don't extend Devin Booker, you have to trade him. Or in 2-3 years from now, you lose him for nothing. And that price tag to extend him just keeps going up. Do you understand that? Okay. Let's do this. So let's go through your thought exercise. You want to move on from Devin Booker. Let's say you trade him. Let's trade him to the Rockets. Let's get back Reed Shepherd. Let's get back 4 first-round picks. Let's get back, I don't know, Dylan Brooks and Cam Whitmore, this, that, and the other. Let's say it's Jalen Green, Dylan Brooks, Reed Shepherd, Cam Whitmore. Throw him in there. I don't care. 4 first-round picks. Okay, sounds good. If you are trading Devin Booker to the Rockets because you're not extending him, or to any other team, if you're trading Devin Booker to any other team, you expect them, or you're hoping for them to blow it up, to be terrible, to be a team that misses the playoffs. That's what you're hoping for. Because you don't have your own picks. So if you're not extending Devin Booker, you're trading him elsewhere, wherever that may be, and you're hoping that team fails flat on its face, misses the playoffs, and then their ping pong ball gets picked, and you get a top 3 pick, and then you make the right selection. You don't bust. You figure it out. Those seem like a lot of ifs to me. You know what you can do if you do extend Devin Booker? You retool the roster around him, and although I'm skeptical of Jalen Green, I like all the other pieces. Rasheer Fleming, Kaman Malawach, Dylan Brooks, Mark Williams. You've got guys to retool the roster around Devin Booker. I don't know how well it's going to go. But to act like they're not retooling it around him, and let's say that they retool it around him and it works. Let's say Devin Booker, they retool around him, and Devin Booker goes nuclear supernova Devin Booker for a full year, which we've seen him do. The regular season is not the same thing as the postseason. So what happens then? Oh, you make the playoffs, you retool the roster around you, Jalen Green maybe figures it out, and then you lure another star here. It's not impossible, it's still Phoenix. So, I'm having a hard time buying into the argument. You want to move on from Devin Booker, then what? Okay, so the plan to move on from Devin Booker is move off of Devin Booker. Get in another team's picks. Pray that that team internally explodes and is a lottery team. Their ping pong ball gets picked first or second or third. You pick the right star player, and that's when your rebuild really starts to take shape. Do you realize how stupid that is? Do you forget that the Suns don't have their own picks? Not only did the Suns want to extend Devin Booker, and they should have extended Devin Booker, they literally had to. Because the option of getting rid of Devin Booker was being a god-awful team, win 15, 22 games a year without your own picks, knowing for the next half decade, there's nothing you can do about it. Well, you'll have the Rockets picks or the Bucks picks or whatever team's picks you want. And then what'll happen? Oh, those teams will be good because they have Devin Booker on them, and you'll be picking in the 20s. Or you could do this. You could retool the roster around Devin Booker like they have. Let Devin Booker try to take this team to the playoffs. And then, maybe in the offseason, next year's a very big free agency. You could sign a big star to come here. And then the retooling for a championship really begins. Well, what if they don't do that? Okay, you trade Devin Booker next year. Do you know why the Suns got nothing for Kevin Durant, or at least it felt like nothing at the time? Because he had no years left on his contract. Devin Booker next year would have 2 years left on his deal when you try to trade him. You would have less leverage. Now, next year, he'll have 3 years, 4 years, if I'm not mistaken, left on his deal. Guess what? It doesn't matter where Devin Booker wants to go. I guess you could try to help him, but the other team better give up a lot for him. Because you have more leverage. You'll just hold on to him. Who cares? Absolutely nauseating. Absolutely nauseating. It's just nonsense, man. And then let me go to this, because I've spent too much time on the Suns, and I got to get to the Cardinals quickly. You know what I cannot stand? Inauthenticity. Lying. I cannot stand it. Like when the Suns put up a Twitter post, it was like, thank you, Kevin Durant. Thank you. Thank you for all you've done here. We are so grateful. I'm not saying put out a post that says, Kevin Durant, we hate you, because that's not the case. But I'm not thankful for anything Kevin Durant did here. Yeah, he was a really good basketball player. He's been a really good basketball player everywhere. They won 6 total playoff games in 3 years. They didn't make the playoffs one year. They got swept a different year. No, I'm not thankful. That's why I didn't put out a tweet that says, oh, I know we've had our hardships. Oh, man. But I'm so thankful we got to have Devin Booker here. Aaron, my guy Aaron in the chat, did you see Coleman's vid on cards? What are your thoughts? I am unaware of what you're talking about, but I'm going to get to the cards in a little bit here. I appreciate your donation, though, brother. I just cannot stand the inauthenticity of, oh my God, I'm so thankful. It's like, no, you're not. And if you are, what are you thankful for? Being a laughingstock? Losing? It's not all Kevin Durant's fault, but I'm so over this idea. And then not just the Suns, but also the Houston Rockets, where the Rockets, they put out a full video for Jalen Green. Here's my message to Jalen Green. The Rockets put out an inauthentic social media clip, said, oh, thank you, Jalen. Thank you for being part of the rebuild. Thank you. Oh, you helped get us to the playoffs. Thank you. And then what? And then what? You were so thankful to Jalen Green that you traded a young, up-and-coming player with a lot of potential, although I'm skeptical of how it's going to fit in Phoenix, for a 36-year-old, soon-to-be 37-year-old player, and said, we want that guy. You're not that thankful for what Jalen Green did. And so here's where the message to Jalen Green comes. Regardless of those ridiculous, inauthentic social media posts saying, thank you, Jalen Green, for the time you had in Houston. We're so thankful that we shipped your ass over to Phoenix for a guy at the tail end of his career, although still a very good player, but we'd rather deal with him. We saw what happened when the Kings traded Tyrese Halliburton, and we saw what happened when the Kings traded Tyrese Halliburton. We saw what happened when the Clippers traded SGA. We're just not that worried about it. We don't think you're going to be that good. Do you think the Kings would still trade Tyrese Halliburton for Domantas Sabonis or SGA for Paul George if you're the Clippers? No, I don't think so. The Rockets saw the risk and said, yeah, we're not too worried about it. Jalen Green, if there's a chance that you could kind of, if there's a way Jalen Green needs to evolve his game, it's this. If you want people to respect, how good of a basketball player you are and all this good stuff that you can do if you're Jalen Green, getting to the basket, hitting an occasional three-point shot, being someone that you can trust. If there's anything Jalen Green needs to motivate himself more than what he feel like he already needs to do for this Suns team, changing his game to help adapt to what the Suns want to do and Devin Booker as his running mate, if there's one thing that should motivate him more than anything else, it's the Rockets, although putting out a phony, corny social media post thanking Jalen Green for his time here. It's him knowing the Kings traded Tyrese Halliburton. The Clippers traded SGA. The Rockets saw them trade a young up-and-coming player, maybe a star someday, for an old vet, and it didn't work out either times for those two teams. And they said, we're not too worried about it. We don't think Jalen Green's going to do that. That's what they said. If there's anything Jalen Green needs more to motivate himself, it's looking at the Rockets saying, we know that there's a 36-year-old superstar player coming to our team, and we saw what it did when the Clippers traded for Paul George or when the Kings traded for Domantas Sabonis. but we're just not too worried about it. We don't think you're as good as those two players. Remember that. That's all I'll say, is remember that. If you don't think you need to change your game or adapt to what the Suns need to do, remember what the Rockets said about you. They traded you, a 22-year-old up-and-coming player with star potential, even if I'm skeptical about the fit in Phoenix, and said, we want the 36-year-old player who has an injury history, fights with people online, but we think we can win better with him. Remember that. The other team that traded you just saw 2 times a young player was traded for a star player, and it blew up in their face in Tyrese Halliburton and SGA. They look at you and they say, you're not Tyrese Halliburton or SGA. What do we care? We're sick of you. Bring in the 36-year-old who fights with people online and is older and has an injury history. That's what they think of you. If Jalen Green needs anything more to motivate himself, it's right there. That's what he needs to use. And it's in the best interest of the Suns, too. If Jalen Green is awesome, they got a 22-year-old star. Traded him away for a 36-year-old. And that's kind of the point it is that needs to be made there. That's the motivation that it should be for Jalen Green. And of course, Devin Booker too. All right. Fired up on this edition of the Ben Garcia Show. My guy, Aaron in the chat mentioned, did you see Coleman's vid on the cards? I'm going to be honest with you. I don't even know who Coleman's is. Maybe I'm messing up something there. What are your thoughts? I would love to give a thought on it, but I have no idea what it is. Maybe send me the video on social media, because I have no idea what that is. But what we are talking about today, because I would love to have an opinion on that thing. What we are talking about today for the Arizona Cardinals, ESPN ranked the wide receiver, running back, tight end trios and listed the Arizona Cardinals. Of course, I don't have the article up now. I'm sorry, guys. I can't talk and type at the same time. It's actually really bad. It's not great. Let's go here. So ESPN ranked the NFL's wide receiver, tight end, running back groups for 2025 best and worst teams. And the Arizona Cardinals came in at 15th. This is not including Kyler or whoever it is before. In 2023, they were ranked 30th. In 2024, they were ranked 21st. Now they're ranked 15th. This is asinine, especially when you see some of the teams ahead of them. These are just some of the teams that are ahead of them right now. The Houston Texans, where Stephon Diggs and Tank Dell, if I'm not mistaken, are both injured. Nico Collins is a very good player, but where's the tight end? They did add Christian Kirk to it, but Christian Kirk was someone that moved on, or that the Jags moved off of. The Washington Commanders, outside of Terry McLaurin, who's on that Commanders team? Who's the running back? Who's the other supporting wide receivers? Zach Ertz is still the tight end there. The Chiefs is wide receiver, tight end, running backs are so bad. Like there's a reason why they were held their own. Cowboys are 11th, but look at the one that sticks out the most. The San Francisco 49ers are the 4th ranked wide receiver, tight end, running back duo in the NFL, according to Bill Barnwell. Christian McCaffrey barely played last year. Phantom Achilles injuries. Brandon Ayuk tore his ACL. And their first round pick I can't even remember his name. He played at ASU. I've mentioned his name before on the show, but I'm drawing a blank. Regardless, that guy, if someone wants to tell me in the chat what his name is, because for some reason I just forgot it, but that extra wide receiver on this team, whose name I can't remember and it's driving me insane, he was shot last year, and he was seen as a overdrafted pick when they got him. So I'm confused. Deebo Samuel left. Jawan Jennings is there. Ricky Pearsall. Thank you. Ricky Pearsall was shot. he was someone that was seen as an overdrafted player. We can't just, if you're going to hold the Cardinals back for what Marvin Harrison Jr. might be, and then say Ricky Pearsall, who's had injuries, granted, you hope the guy's okay. It's a terrible incident. But even before any of that was seen as an overdrafted player. George Kittle is 80. Christian McCaffrey's got Achilles injuries. That one is nuts to me that the Niners are ranked that high, only behind the Bengals, Lions, and Eagles, who I all three get. But when you look at that list, it's kind of interesting because the Cardinals have invested a lot into their wide receiver, tight end, and running back trios. Trey McBride's the second highest paid tight end, if I'm not mistaken. So he's the second highest tight end paid right now. Marvin Harrison Jr., they invested the 4th overall pick in him. They invested a 3rd round pick in Michael Wilson. And they extended James Conner again in a world where people say don't extend your running backs. So it's just crazy to me that the Arizona Cardinals are ranked 15th. This will feed into the idea that the Cardinals need to add more. Let me just put it out there right now. I have full faith in the Cardinals wide receiver, tight end, running back trio more than potentially anything else on this team. You can argue with me, and I'd be willing to listen to it, of if the Cardinals need to add one extra wide receiver. Sure. But I don't think they need to add like Terry McLaurin. I've talked about like adding a Keenan Allen, adding a sure hands guy who could be your 3rd wide receiver. But I'm not begging for it because I know I have Trey McBride. I know I have Michael Wilson, Marvin Harrison Jr., and James Conner can catch the ball out of the backfield. This is the ultimate test of, do you watch the Cardinals? Oh, you don't? Okay. Well, I see people say Marvin Harrison Jr. wasn't great. I've seen Trey McBride, is he really that good? Or they just dink and dunk to him? So, although I'd agree with my guy Aaron in the chat, maybe they need another good veteran player. I'm not sure if Gabe Davis is signed, but someone like that. I think Gabe Davis did end up signing, but someone like that. But even then, they've got Zay Jones. What the Cardinals have around Kyler Murray is more than enough to succeed in this new era of the NFL. And I don't want to feed into this idea that because Bill Barnwell of ESPN ranked them 15th among running back, tight end, and wide receiver groups compared to other teams in the NFL, I don't want to buy into that idea that Kyler Murray needs more. I want Kyler to succeed. But what I don't want to hear at the end of the year is, well, Cardinals would have been better if Kyler just had that extra vet, that Gabe Davis, that Keenan Allen. I'm not going there. Kyler has all the weapons, including the offensive line. And you don't like James Conner? Okay, what about the 3rd round running back that we got last year for you, Kyler? Trey Benson really came into his own at the end of last season. Good player. I like him here. So you have a tandem in the backfield that you like, both change of pace and a power running back. I think Michael Wilson is superbly underrated. Very good wide receiver too. And although I have some concerns about Marvin Harrison Jr., I think he's a top 50. I think he'll be for sure a top 15 wide receiver in the league. He's a wide receiver 1 for sure. They just got to get the ball in his hands a little bit more. And then Trey McBride is awesome. And I like Elijah Higgins. And I like this Cardinals offensive line. But I don't want to buy into this idea that the Cardinals offense is not as good because some ESPN writer said it who probably didn't watch a lot of Cardinals games. It kind of drives me nuts at this point where we are just saying the Cardinals are this because we don't watch a lot of that. Kyler's got all the weapons he needs. You can't both say that the Cardinals need more, but then also say, but Marvin Harrison Jr. is going to be a breakout player. Trey McBride's going to have another 1,000-yard season. James Conner is going to be awesome. You don't get to say all of that and then say in the next breath, but, we could use another wide receiver. If you want to say that the Cardinals have a lot left, but sure, add some depth, cool. but I could take it or leave it. I'm not going to sit here and be like the Cardinals definitely need that. Kyler needs that to succeed. No, because at some point, when you start adding too much to your offense, like let's say the Cardinals went and got Terry McLaurin. You know what that tells me? When you have other holes on your team, especially I think depth at the offensive line or maybe on the outside pressure. I don't really love Baron Browning. Let's say you go spend a premium pick, you bring in a Terry McLaurin or someone big, right? That tells me you don't believe in Kyler as much as you actually do. Because then you're saying, oh, we need him to be stacked. We need him to have Brock Purdy level Avengers, Jalen Hurts level Avengers, if we ever want a chance to win. And if you want to go that route, it can work, but it tells me how you actually feel about your quarterback. And so I saw that list. I was kind of excited to see where the Cardinals were going to land. And when I saw 15th and I saw second highest in the NFC West, I was floored. You know, I'm just curious. I want to take a look at the rest of these rankings. I want to see where the Rams came in. So the Cardinals were third, according to Bill Barnwell, in the NFC West when it comes to running back, wide receiver, tight ends. I think Puka Nacua is good. I don't think he's that much better than Marvin Harrison Jr., or don't know if I'd say he is. And then I look at Devontae Adams. I like Devontae Adams. But the Cardinals had no issues clamping him last year. None. Tyler Higbee, I'll just take Trey McBride. And I don't think Kyron Williams is just better than James Conner. James Conner's really freaking good. So it's just wild to me. I'd be curious to see where the Seahawks came in. This is a team that, after they lost DK Metcalf, should be further down the list. And they are... This is great television, by the way. Seattle is 19th, so just barely 4 spots back from the Arizona Cardinals. Look at what the Seattle Seahawks have. Kenneth Walker, who hasn't had a 1,000-yard season, I believe 2 seasons. Jackson Smith-Njigba, who I think is really good. I couldn't even tell you who their tight end is right now. It's what other organizations think of the Cardinals, and they're going to think this way until Drew Petzing opens up the playbook and Kyler Murray delivers the ball to his teammates. That's all it is. It's not that hard. It's not rocket science. You want to get your guys recognized? Start drawing up plays for them. You want to get your guys recognized? Kyler, hit them in stride. That's what we're talking about here. We're no longer talking about a team that is up and coming. They have to make noise this season. And that's all it has to be. All right, guys. Appreciate you guys joining me today. I also apologize that over the last couple of days, I came on here with a disgusting facial hair that I look terrible in, but I have a good reason for it. Big job interview today. Shave it all today, get the haircut, be ready to go in there and ace an interview. Excited for it. I know that they're very good people, so hey, say a prayer for your boy. See how he does in his interview, and we'll, see how it impacts everything else. Other than that, appreciate you guys making me a part of your day. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, potentially, if you want to. I'm not going to make you. It's not me. I'm not going to come over the counter and strangle you unless you do this. But maybe tell a friend about the Ben Garcia show. Let's help this guy out. But do me a favor, guys. Definitely hit the like button. It's definitely helpful for me. And then as well as join the conversation on social media, and let's talk all things Phoenix Suns, Arizona Cardinals, Diamondbacks, ASU football, and follow me on all social media platforms at Ben Garcia Show. Would be excited to talk to you guys, see what you guys think, see what you guys like. Tell me why you love me, tell me why you hate me, type of thing. But for everyone in the chat this morning, let's make sure I hit everyone. Chill Peasy, Aaron, who again sent a donation. Appreciate you, man. I will definitely check out that Coleman's vid on the Cardinals. Maybe DM it to me on Twitter. I would be definitely look at that. My guy Ivan and Aaron, you should get a Discord. I listen, that would be so much fun. But I got to be honest with you, bro. I've got enough going on my plate. I can't manage a Discord too. I can't do it. But I appreciate it. that the offer would even be there. But anyways, guys, I'll talk to you guys on Monday. We are a Monday through Thursday show, 7 a.m. Appreciate you guys and have a good one. Stay safe. And until Monday, it's the Ben Garcia Show.